Hello, I think I am live. If anybody just can confirm that you can hear me. And the picture looks good from my end. Hello, everyone. My name is Shel Anderson, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Today we are doing what I'm calling a fix-it video. I made this card on the weekend using the inked embossing folder technique. And in my opinion, this card is okay, but I would really deem it a fail. I used Calypso Coral cardstock for my focal image, and in my opinion, I mean, some people might look at this and love it, but in my opinion, it is not the correct choice. And I used too dark of a green ink on the leaves, so we're going to fix it. If you haven't noticed, I have been doing videos with this Sunflower 3D embossing folder for a reason. It's finally back in stock. So if you want it, order it before it's gone, because I'm sure it's going to sell out again. The other cards I made last week were these two with the, I'm drawing a blank. This paper is white core, and it's two colors, a lighter shade and a darker shade. Oh, my brain has left me. Let me pull it up here. It is two-tone cardstock. There we go. Holy moly. Anyway, and I took a sander to it, and so that the white core shows through. So there's another technique that you can do with that folder. It's a lovely folder. So we're going to put these pieces aside, and we are going to bring in some cardstock, and I am going to show you how to fix and correctly, what I consider correctly, make a card with this folder using that inked technique. So to start off, I have a piece of basic white cardstock, and we are going to do the inked embossing folder technique. Now, if you feel the folder, this side you can feel the flowers are raised. This side you can feel the background is raised. So this is the one with the Stampin' Up! Logo. So we are going to ink up this folder on the Stampin' Up! Logo side, because I want my background to be dark. And I am just dragging and tapping. Tapping usually works better. This folder with the early espresso ink. Now, I have seen other people do this with a brayer. For the love of money, I could not find my brayer to try that. So this is what I am doing. And I'm just going to place that cardstock like so and close the folder. Now, we're going to bring in our Stampin' Cut and Emboss. We're going to have the base platform, our folder with the hinge side first, and then our number, I think it's a 4. Can't remember. Yeah, number 4 plate. That's all you need for this folder. So we're going to run this through, and I like to do it a couple of times. And then we're going to take this off, and we're going to look at it. I'm going to move this out of the way for a minute. Carefully lay it flat. Don't move your card, and look at it. And you see that I can still see some white space there. I'm thinking that with a brayer, it might help with that problem. So what I want to do is I want to ink it a second time, and I'm going to run it through again. As long as that cardstock doesn't move, you are good. I'll bring this back in. Base plate, folder, and then number 4 plate. And we'll crank it through. Make all kinds of noise in the process. And we'll get rid of this. And look at the difference. The background is nice and dark. All right. Now you can take this to the sink and run it under the tap, and it will clean off just fine. However, I don't have a sink right here, and I'm sure you don't want to sit and wait while I go clean this, so I am just going to give it a quick wipe with my spray bottle and this craft cloth. It's just a microfiber towel. All right, good as new. We'll put that out of the way. And we're going to bring this back in. I think what I'm going to do is bring in my silicone mat, because we are going to do some coloring. And I have chosen Daffodil Delight, Pecan Pie, and Old Olive. So I'm going to just use a sponge dauber. You could do your coloring however you want. I don't want perfection. If you're looking for perfection, don't choose the sponge dauber, because you're never going to get it perfect. And I'm just coloring in what I deem to be the leaf areas with Old Olive ink. Oh, one down here. All right. That looks pretty good to me. I think we'll close this one up for now. And now I'm going to go to Pecan Pie. Oops. And of course I got ink all over my dauber where I don't want it. So we're going to pick that ink up, and in the center I'm going to go dark, and then I'm just going to swirl it lighter around the outside. So that's going to give me that two-tone effect. Sorry about that. I guess I forgot to turn my notifications off on my phone. Hopefully it doesn't ring. It was a rush to get home, and of course I had car trouble again. Never-ending battle. There we go. Now we're going to close up that pecan pie, and we are going to open the Daffodil Delight. And I seriously considered using crushed curry for this, but I'm glad that I didn't, because I think this daffodil is plenty dark enough. And I'm just, with a circular motion, applying the color. Because there is texture here. So I want to get all sides of the flower. Like I said, if you're looking for perfection, you might want to get out your Stampin' blends to do this part. But I think I'm going to need a little more pecan on that one. All right, let's close this up and we'll open the pecan one more time. And see if I can add a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. All right, I'm not going to mess with it anymore. That is our finished card front. Let me get this stuff out of the way. And we're going to bring in, let's clean this mess up first. We're going to bring in our paper trimmer. And we are going to cut this one down. I like to do it a quarter sheet so that I can choose where I want to cut it down. Now, see, I could cut a little bit off here. I want to keep as much of the flowers as I could. So if I cut a strip off there and the rest off the other side, I'm keeping as much of the flowers as I can. Oops, that didn't cut all the way through. Hi, Barb. All right, now we need to do the same thing. Oops. This needs to be 5 inches. So I'm going to take it all off the top, like so. So there's my 3 3/4 by 5. Now, I need 2 pieces that are 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to use one as a mat, and I'm going to use the other one as the inside of the card. All right, get that out of there. And on one of those, I'm going to use this little strip. No, I'm not, because it's not straight. Ooh, it is not straight. And I know I was going to use it on the inside of the card. Let's see if I can, let's see how good my eye is. I don't guarantee that I can make it straight. But I think I did an okay job. All right, let's see. Yep, we can put that on there. Let's do it. Well, yes, Bella and Molly are outside with Daddy because they've chosen this moment to be vocal. So Daddy just took them outside. There we go. And we'll just take our paper snips and snip off the excess. So there's the inside of our card. Get off my finger. All right, now we have a decision to make. This is our card front and our mat. I think it should be green. But it also could be pecan pie. What's your opinion? please put in the comments which one you would choose. Either one would work, but I like the green one. You know what? We're going to go with the green this time. And I'll tell you why. I have another card front that I did about 5 minutes before this video started. So we'll do one in pecan and we'll do one in old olive, and we'll see which one we like best. We'll do a side-by-side comparison. All right. So let's see if I can get this centered. Not quite. Try the second time. There we go. Good enough for this girl. And I have some old olive ribbon. This is retired, long retired, called Ornate Garden. I don't even remember what year that was. 2022 maybe? I'm not sure. This one I'm going to do this. Put some of that down. We're going to go down and around and stick it. There we go. It just brings the green from those leaves out. The pecan. Okay, Barb, we're going to try it here shortly. And then we'll see who likes what better. All right, let's get some adhesive on this. And let's see if I can center this one any better. Maybe. There we go, I can live with that. And then we'll put our inside piece in. Just like so. And now I need my bow maker. We're going to make a wee bow to add to the front. I apologize for the early start, but I have a meeting tonight, so I had to come on a little bit earlier. All right, glue dot. Glue dot, glue dot, glue dot. Where are you? Right here. All right, I'm just going to put that up top-ish. And I pre-cut a greeting. I haven't got all the pieces punched out of it, but I pre-cut it. Try to save us some time. This says best wishes. This is not a Stampin' Up! Product. This is oh, it's from Australia. I can't remember the brand. Sorry. Anyway, we all have word dyes of some sort. This one I like because it can be for a variety of occasions. There we go. And then I also like it because this is all one die set. Like you've got the layering, the words, and 2 layering background dies. Now we should have some dimensionals for this. Oops. And yes, I'm going heavy on dimensionals intentionally. This is heavily embossed as well as heavily inked. So I want to make sure that it sticks, because I know my ink is not completely dry yet. Bring our card back in, and I'm just going to tuck that right in between those 2 flowers. Now, I could add some dots on there, but I don't think it needs it. Now, let's bring back in the card that I made on the weekend. A little bit of a difference, I think, right? This one, the idea was there, but the color of the cardstock was wrong. You have to use either a white or a vanilla cardstock, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. All right, let's see. I have this one done that I did before the video. See, there's a little white spot there. Let's color that in. And we're going to use the pecan pie one now, so we can have a look-see. There we go. Pecan pie. Now, we have to we have to cut this down. Yes, we do. All right, 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to take a little off the bottom and a little off the top to preserve as much flowers as we can. All right, now I have to decide on a matte layer on here. I know it can't be yellow. I know that. Let me find some cardstock here. And it can't be I've got a piece of early espresso here, but I don't think you want dark on dark. I think maybe we're going to go back to the white. Let me find a piece of white. Here we go. I need to cut this down. So this is going to be 4. Let's make sure it's wide enough first. It is 4 by 5 1/4. Come out of there. There we go. Vanilla. You might be onto something there, Barb. Let's try vanilla. I have some right here. Four by 5 1/4. All right, let's take the white out, put the vanilla in. Good call, but the card base isn't the right size. I can tell. 5 1/2. Good call, Barb. So we need some ribbon. I have some pecan pie. I also have this, I've had this forever, this jute. I don't know if I like that. No, I think we'll go with the pecan. All right. The yellow I did was daffodil. I was really aiming to go with crushed curry, but the crushed curry, I'm glad I didn't. When I was doing this one before the video, I decided to go with the daffodil, and then I would go over it with crushed curry if I didn't think it was dark enough. I'm very glad that I went with this one. Now, the crushed curry might have been pretty too, but I was very happy with this one. All right, we'll tuck that around. Get some adhesive on the back. Layer this one on. And now, if you wanted to put dimensionals between any of these layers, you could very, very easily do that. I'm just a little rushed for time tonight, and I think they're fine flat. All right, let me get a bow made. Oops, look at that. Vanilla was a very good call. All right. Find my glue dots. I've got so much stuff outside the view of the camera. I'm just in this one little space. It's crazy. We'll pop that one on there. And I think I'm going to add, where's my paper piercer? I'm going to add a couple more glue dots and then trim those tails. Because they're a bit longish. There we go. All right, I do not have a greeting cut for this one, but somewhere, what did I do with it? I have ephemera, and there is one here that says hello, and that's good enough for me. You could use whatever one you wanted. Now, I don't like it white because of the vanilla, and I am going to color this with, if I can find it, a light pecan pie blend. Hopefully it's a good choice. Oh, I need the other end of the marker for this or we'll be here all night. Just like coloring our embellishments with markers, we can color our ephemera with markers. Easy peasy. And as the alcohol dissipates, it's getting lighter, so you see me going over it. I was just worried that if I grabbed the dark one, it would be too dark. So I'd rather do a couple of coats with the light one and just build the color. There we go. Hello. If I can pick it up. Got no fingernails, I just cut them all off. Oh, that kind of gets lost in there, doesn't it? I think we need a little something something. How tall is this guy? Just over an inch. So we'll go 1.25 inches with the vanilla. And then we'll glue him on and cut the length after. Glue. Oh, way over here. Stuck to my finger. There we go. Let's see if I can get it off my finger without tearing it. Well, I got it on there, but I got it on crooked. So let's try again. It'll be a miracle if this lives. Alright. My problem was I was trying to put the H on straight and the H is crooked. There we go. Alright, let's trim this down. End is in sight, my friends. There is our greeting. Little big. I'm not going to pop this one up. I'm going to keep it flat. Just like so. So there is our pecan one. There is our old olive one. And those two cards use exactly the same colors on white cardstock. And it was Daffodil Delight, Pecan Pie, Old Olive, and Early Espresso for the background. This is the one I made on the weekend that, in my opinion, is awful. And then the two that we did last week's Facebook Live with this folder is the sanding technique with the two-tone cardstock. So I hope that you can see the versatility of this fabulous, fabulous folder. It is back in stock finally. It is the Sunflower 3D embossing folder. And you can emboss 2 card fronts at the same time if you so desire. All right, that's it for tonight. I have to scoot. I have a meeting tonight. So I will be back soon. Maybe tomorrow night. We'll find out. Have a good night, ladies. Bye-bye.